some beer. We are back at Chandler's Ford for another one of their tasty beers. Today we have Island Time, and I'm not just saying it weirdly, it is spelled Thai''MNN. But you know, it made me think of like some travel, some good reading that you might take to the beach, you know, when you're on Island Time. This beer tastes like everything you would expect something called Island Time to taste like. It has Thai cherry, ginger, lemongrass, and Thai basil, and it's actually very aromatic.
It is. It's very light. I really am liking it.
Yeah. You want to go first? I see you have some stuff sitting over there that I'm very interested in.
Yes. So I'm actually going to start with some books I picked for African American History Month. I read probably about 8 books to prepare for this because I didn't know what I wanted to read. And it's funny that it was, you know, it's always a beer that influences what I pick. So I tried to go more tropical. Sure. Because we're on Island Time here.
We're on Island Time.
But for this first book, now this I just picked because I just thought this was such a cool book. This is a book that is actually in our international books area. It is in English, but it's an African cookbook. And so it's from 1975. It's printed at Michigan State University. And you can still find copies of this online. I was looking around, being as old as it was, I wanted to see how accessible it was. It's mainly East African cooking, like Ugandan, Tanzanian, Kenyan, and then it has a little bit of Asian and European recipes in it. The cool thing about this book is you get an introduction. It breaks down measurements. It breaks down like food groups and nutrition and stuff like that. But it also talks about how to build your kitchen. So it really reflects that this is talking about another culture. It's talking about how your kitchen should have, make sure if it's dirt floors, that it's clean dirt floors, or use anything, Yeah. I'm like, this is just a really neat book to read to understand cooking in a foreign country. And a lot of the things in the recipes we don't have, but they provide you with an alternative because there's an index of a lot of the foods so that it makes you understand what they're talking about. Like when they use a word that you don't know, then it just says white fish. So you could substitute something that you might have on hand. Most of the recipes are very, I wouldn't say simple, but not as many ingredients. Sounds easier to make.
Super clean.
Yeah. This is a neat book. And also in the back there's a section on how to use foods for different things around the house in case somebody's accidentally poisoned. What to feed them, to help get the poison out, stuff like that. It was a really nifty book. It's not very big, but you kind of have to go to the international section to find it. So I thought that was cool. This next book I chose is Rachel Howzell Hall. This one is from 2019. She is an African American writer from California, and this book is strongly based on Agatha Christie's And Then There Was None. Except this is a much more diverse book. That's probably the only difference. Like it follows it very strongly. It does take place though in a tropical private island off of Mexico. So I thought that was kind of fit with our tropical theme we're going here. But no, I really enjoyed it. It's not a very large book. It took me just a day to finish, but really good. I love those murder mysteries. Of course, so that was right. And then last but not least, I have this one. This was just something when I was shelving books one day, I saw this and I went, no way, that's too funny. So I actually threw out the third book I was going to bring because the last time we were here filming, I took my lunch here and had their tacos, and they have some good tacos here. So if you want to come for the beer, definitely grab some tacos while you're here. The Taco Cleanse.
Is that what the book is called? The Taco Cleanse?
Yeah, the Taco Cleanse. The tortilla-based diet proven to change your life. Yeah. It is, let me see, it is from 2015. I knew it was pretty recent. Apparently Jennifer Aniston really liked this book too. That was just something someone wrote up. We're just going to mention Jennifer Aniston in all of our shows now. But I really like this on page 2. Is the Taco Cleanse right for you? Do you experience recurring feelings of hunger on a daily basis?
You frequently lack access to eating utensils such as forks or chopsticks.
Sometimes.
Do you consider tortillas to function as edible napkins?
Yes.
And it goes on. So pretty much this book go with anybody. But I mean really, it's a book with so many different taco recipes, some vegan, some vegetarian. Kind of just pretty amazing. I think 75 vegan recipes alone. But yeah, I thought that would go great with our tropical beer theme and the fact that they have some really killer tacos on the menu here. So yeah.
Excellent. I don't even know how to follow that up. What can follow a taco cleanse? How about a book about grief?
Well, there's one.
Taco cleanses all sorts of things, especially grief. So I chose a couple books that will go with our island theme. These ones are based in New York and Dominican Republic. So we have two Afro-Latinx authors who talk about a lot about Dominican culture and how that translates to being an immigrant in New York as kind of like peripheral themes. But this one in particular, it's called Clap When You Land. It's by Elizabeth Acevedo. I'm gonna butcher every single one of these names, warning you right now. Elizabeth Acevedo is how I YouTubed it. I got this book on Overdrive. We have an ebook copy, we have the audiobook, I listened to the audiobook, and we also have this in physical form, but all the copies were checked out. So this only came out a year or two ago.
Oh wow, it's
Yeah,
still so popular.
It's still so popular. So go get on the holds list if you like this. It's a novel written in free verse, which I have never read before. So I thought, okay, the author reads the audiobook, let's see what this sounds like in her voice. And it's powerful. It's kind of, it has themes of grief. You have these two sisters, Camino Reyes and Herrera Reyes. One lives in New York, one lives in the DR, and they don't know about each other, and they have the same dad. And then the dad dies in an airplane accident. So they have to reconcile their lives apart, knowing their father, and then together knowing their father. And the entire book is about them processing their grief and finding out about each other. But with the free verse, some of the fractured sentences really made me feel like, okay, maybe this is what fractured thought process feels like when you're processing something traumatic. And she very much just has a way with words. It's just beautiful verse. I highly suggest it. If free verse doesn't really seem like your thing, it's not everyone's thing, do the audiobook because it's, I think, a 5-hour listen. I did it in my car over the past week.
Oh wow, that's not too bad.
It's not bad. It's very quick, and I think the free verse kind of keeps you interested because it has a cadence to it a lot of the time, and it has the way she mixes and matches words. Again, it's just really powerful, really beautiful. So that's this author. My other Afro-Latinx author is Adriana Herrera. And I've got to say, I took practice with that one because I have trouble with R's. But Adriana Herrera, she wrote American Dreamer. This is an LGBTQ romance, which I have never read before. And I've got to say, it was great. Because she not only drops you in the middle of, she basically drops you into two different kinds of culture. And she is uncompromising when she does it. And unapologetic about how she does it. She expects you to come to the level of these two cultures, and if you have questions, to figure it out on your own, versus an author who spoon feeds you every answer to every question you might have. So Nestor Vasquez, Vasquez, is an Afro-Caribbean food truck driver and cook. I know, that's what grabbed me about this one. I was like, food truck? I'm in.
New York has some great food trucks
They do.
too.
And he starts in New York City with this Afro-Caribbean food truck and decides he wants to take it up to Ithaca, upstate New York, to try to be like the big fish in the small pond versus like the small fish in the big pond. And when he gets there, he meets this local public librarian named Jude Fuller.
Oh wow.
And they have this instant attraction and they fall in love. And it's about, a lot of this is about processing like past baggage and figuring out how your past self fits into current relationships. So that one was very interesting as well. And like I said, I love it when an author drops you into a culture and then expects you to do your own work. So this was kind of nice. This is also the first in a series. So if this piques your interest, American Dreamer is the name. I just realized I never said that. American Dreamer. And then the rest of them is American something. It's a great series. My last one is what I loosely call my Black History Month pick for this week. It's Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi and Yanni.
Oh, that's a good one.
I love it so much, and it's the first in the series as well. This came out in 2018, I want to say, and there is still a whole list a mile long. I had to check this out and wait through the wait list twice in the past 2 months to get this, and I don't even have the physical copy. I had to print a sheet because that whole list is going strong.
Yeah.
I'm going to try my best to explain this without it sounding boring or tropey. Zelly is a teenage girl living in a fishing village, and she is tasked with bringing back magic to the land of Orisha, which is where she lives. There's a lot of backstory to this. She ends up meeting up with a couple people, the prince and princess of this land, whose father, 11 years previously, killed and took the magic from the land. And so part of it is this prince and princess coming to terms with how they were raised and figuring out what their personal opinions are separate from their father. And then Zelly is slowly turning into a magi, which means she has, and her specific power is over life and death. It's very interesting. And there's just all sorts of details in it that have very, very much parallel themes to the society we live in. So institutional racism, ideas about people of color and their hair, and just a little other details that I'm not entirely sure a youth reading a YA book would necessarily point out and be like, oh my goodness, that's so cool. But it's definitely YA fiction. These are both YA. This one is clearly not, unless you have a really adult teenager. But those are what I have. I've been raving about this book to everyone who will stand still long, stand still long Maleficent. This is my next book I'm about to do that with. I've already suggested it to 3 people, and I only got it last week. It is rough. None of these are necessarily easy because it does talk a lot about integrating your personal culture into social norms and how you can react or interact in society. And of course it's just addressed in a million different ways across three. But that's what I think.
Sound great.
I know. And this one, I think, just got picked up by Fox to do a movie.
Oh, that'll be good.
I'm a little scared. Like, I love the book so much. I'm a little scared about it turning into a movie.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. But those are our picks. Hopefully you can buy Chandler's Ford and try the Island Time. I was told that they don't have much of it left, so you got to come in quick.
That is true. And get some tacos while you're here.
And get some tacos while you're here. That's right. And in the meantime, definitely check us out on the library's YouTube channel and be sure to subscribe.